You can see last year's or this year's Converge Awards. He was awarded Most Persistent 2018 Wealth Engineer, as well as having the most qualified wealth engineers on his first point. So for the guests who don't know what that means, he's able to turn people that join his channel into earners more than any other wealth engineer in our business, right? And so we should be privileged to be able to hear from Danie this evening. Very excited. Your girls are watching, so I'm sure you're going to say hi to the ladies at home.
Yes.
Go for it. Give us your pearls of wisdom. I think you're going to be tackling the 365 challenge specifically.
Yes.
Right? How do we do that?
Yeah. It's scary because it's quite a burden. You know, people give you accolades. Some people that don't know me might think that I'm something extraordinary, but I'm not. I'm just a committed guy that's got committed friends. In fact, this is a team game. There's no way you can do that by yourself. Now, I promised the three women at home that I will say, hi, honey. Hi, Cliss. Hi, Shell. Now, I bet you at least one of them waved back at me, not knowing that I can't see them. You know? And I'll keep quiet now because I haven't eaten yet. And I have to go home. Guys, the 365 is perhaps, it's far more important than you might have realized. Now, I'm going to share something very personal with you, and you can either accept it or not. I'm not the fastest sponsor in Dew Point. I don't even hit the top 20. I mean, my upline's here, my downline is here. Some of my friends actually do better than me. In fact, I've spoken more than about 90 people already for the year, but I haven't closed all of them. But I'll tell you what I've done. I've closed people last week and the week before and the week before of people that I started speaking 8 months before, 2 years before. I was having a good conversation with one of my best friends currently, and we were talking. In fact, I started speaking to him 3 years ago. And the first time he was not interested. But he's a very likable guy, and you're going to hear a lot about him and his beautiful wife. And then there was a second and a third time. Now we talk Dew Point flat out. People take Dew Point for what's in their heart. Now people say, Danie, what's your secret? What's your approach? Stuff like this. Guys, the one thing that I'm going to tell you is you need to be real. And I think that's what made me fall in love with guys like you. Because you're the real guys. I mean, people out there are kind of funny. You must have noticed. I'm going to do this exercise. Have you spoken to people in this month that said no? Now, for those of you on camera, you can't see it. Nearly every single person put his hand up. And I think some of my learned colleagues here stated some stuff about that. And you get people, Dan, I must be doing something wrong. The people say no. And I think to myself, but it looks like you're doing something right. Because if they say no, that means you're speaking to people. That's your job. You know, you don't have to, you know, whether what's happening in their life is not important, you know. I've got some excellent team members, good friends. I mean, if your name is Paul, whether it's Paul Bennett or Paul Ferreira, you're like a Jack Russell. I mean, Zach isn't the Barney, okay. My friend, which I couldn't mention, for a long story for another day. You know? I mean, there's Danie, there's people, you know, if I start mentioning names, I'm going to forget somebody and I'm going to get myself into trouble. I don't want to ruin my team after 3 years. But you know who do I speak to? Johan Cronier this afternoon that encouraged me, because I get despondent as well. There's nothing wrong with being despondent, but it's what you do with it. In your lifetime at Dew Point, you're going to speak to 365 people, whether you like it or not. That's the price to have something that other people has not got. In the bakkie on my way here, Paul, forgive me, Paul is prospecting a lady, and I'll share it with you because I was praying to God. I was saying, you know, what's my message? Is there something specific? And then it arrived. He did a perfect approach to a lady. I'm not going to mention her name, so if you think it's you, it's most probably not you. And this lady was apparently a good prospect. I can hear, the radio was turned down and Paul was gooing, and he did all the stuff that we shared. And this lady was 8 months behind on her house, okay? And some kind of sales, but she's not making it. So Paul pitched her about Dew Point, and she immediately said, that's not for me. But she hasn't seen Dew Point. And I thought to myself, seriously, lady? Does Dew Point work? Yes. Why? Because we're sitting here. If it didn't work, we wouldn't be here. Okay? Would you agree? So we're either a bunch of nuts, okay? And there's not a lot of us. Would we agree? There's not a lot of people like us, which is concerned about the future. We worry. How am I going to feed my children? How am I going to retire? Some people don't worry about that. You see them, they have DSTV, but they don't have a funeral plan. They call themselves very logical people. He practiced for the comrades, huh? But he's not here on a Saturday. He's got no pension, but he practiced for the comrades, huh? Or worse, he's playing billikie rugby. Scary stuff, huh? They're not real people. And I was listening to this lady, and I thought, girl, you don't need money. You need a psychiatrist, huh? Or something like this. There's something seriously wrong with you. I mean, if your house is 8 months behind and somebody offers you an opportunity, you don't even look, See, I'm going to tell a story with a 365. When you approach people, it's not what you say, because it's what's in that person's heart. And let me explain. Picture this. You're driving in your car, the oil light comes on, but you tune your passengers. Don't worry. It's just a suggestion. In South Africa, around us, there's a few nuts that's driving with the oil light on. Like that. I mean, the oil light of your finances, of your retirement, has been shining a long time. But you don't listen to reason. You don't open you up. We've got a saying, you can't do it wrong, as long as you keep on sharing. I mean, one of the first aunties I've got on my team joined because she thought Rob was pretty. I kid you not. And she's still in the team. She's got a few hundred in the team. And she'll forgive me for this because we joke about it. I was gooing. It was my first approach. I was uncertain. I was trying to explain the opportunity. And she just looked and she said, yo, hy's mooi. And she said, sign me up. I said, no, you have to. She said, he's beautiful, sign me up. Thanks for being pretty, Rob, because he's still in the team. You just pray that he will keep his good looks. It's what in the... So if people say to me, Danie, what kept you in the business and what makes you... I would say is I took Dew Point and I put it in my heart. In the book of Proverbs 24, it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so easy. A lot of people don't succeed in Dew Point because it's not in your heart. Because if it's in your heart, people would want that. People join my team because they want what I have. If I show you stuff in my life, you most probably wouldn't want my life. Last year was one of the toughest years of my life. I lost my mom. She took a year to die. I lost 3 special people in a row this year. They tried to murder me and my wife 9 months ago. Destroyed my car. But I still go on. Why? Because I don't make my business about my circumstances. My circumstances must fit in with my business. My daughter is playing hockey. The one day she said to me, Dad, you haven't watched one of my hockey games this year yet. I said to Danie, I need to tell you something. Okay? The first thing a spouse in a relationship should do is love your family. The second thing is, if you're a parent, you should try and earn. I've got no respect for somebody that doesn't try and earn. It doesn't matter if you make a lot of money, but your children should see you trying. Doesn't matter if you succeed, you should just go try. And I said to my daughter, I don't want to come to Dew Point on Saturday morning. I want to cuddle in bed, watch your hockey. But if I do that, there's no Mauritius. And you got to believe me, I'm turning 50 in about a week's time. Okay. I said to her, You're not going to understand it, but when you're my age, you're not going to remember the hockey game. You're going to remember Mauritius. You can either have the excuse or the success. You're not harming your loved ones by showing up. You're doing the right thing. Having Dew Point in your heart, if you have it in your heart, people will say what's in your heart. You will pitch. You'll keep your installments active. Nobody wants to buy your dream if you can't even keep your premium active, man. Because you're like the wind. If you tell people about Dew Point, but you never pitch, you never hear. I mean, they walk around, you don't even know they're in your team. I see that often. I've seen people watching the presentation alone. They come here alone, you know. You're not supposed to do that. You should speak to people. It doesn't matter whether they've said yes or no. That's irrelevant. My question is, did you speak to people this week? If you listen to stories, and I was saying, listening to what say 365 is, how many names have you got in the air currently that you need to follow up? Do you still follow up? Those people that you spoke to, have you got a list of them? Do you follow them up? Because things change in their life. In fact, if they find out that you haven't changed towards them because they said no, okay, and you're still pretty convinced about Dew Point, they find out that you've got something that they don't have. And then they come towards it. Because I tell you, South Africa is a country without plans. I see many problems, but not a lot of plans. Do you see opportunities being given out there? Now this opportunity gives you a chance to have privilege. Now, some people want to take privilege into the mud. This is a lady from a rural area, but she's living privilege. Why? Because she self-selected her out of it. You see, if a person is drowning, but he doesn't realize it, you can throw him anything you want. He will not grab onto it. So what you should be doing is look for people that realize they're drowning. That lady that me and Paul spoke to tonight does not realize she's drowning. So it means, yeah. And you know that you don't drown by falling into water. You drown because you stay there. Nobody's drowned by falling into water. You drown if you stay there. Because life is going to overrun you. What must happen in your life before you give a person that shows you this clip a chance just to show you how Dew Point? How tough should it get before you just look at it? I nearly said no when I looked at it. Nearly. I was totally convinced that I wouldn't join. But it made sense to me. So I joined. I told my wife. Of course, she hasn't seen it, so she didn't know that it's something, you know. And my ways of explaining were so pathetic that you wouldn't even take it, you know. In the first month and the second month, I was only earning a few hundred, so she was really concerned about my mental health, you know. And then a little while down the line, it turns into a few thousand, and then she said, "Oh, how does this products work?" And that was mentioned, and I said, "I'm not going to tell you." Because the products, people say it's irrelevant. Why? People say, "I don't have 249. Nobody asked you for 249. We want 5 names. Yeah. If you want to pay the product, you're a bit stupid. I mean, because you're wasting money. You should actually find 5 or 6 people. Every single person knows 6 people. Do you know that? I spoke to the other guy. I said, "How do you know?" I said, "A coffin has got 6 handles." That stopped the argument. He had no words. Okay. So if the 6 people that's going to carry your coffin doesn't join your business, get others. You know? It's as simple as that. Why do you want to pay the product? The product is very important, it's very necessary, and it's very unique. But I'm not going to tell you the product. In fact, if you want to know about the product, I'm going to ask this person to explain the product to you. What I'm saying to you is you need money. And you need a better life, and you need it soon. And next month's fuel price increase is going to be more than $2.49 per month. So if you don't make it now, I need you to see things to get out of the water, because currently you're doing things the wrong way. And I promise you, don't hold on to a drowning man, because you're going to drown with him. People, there's loved ones in our life that's going to drown. There's people in your life close to you that don't listen to you. You warn them, but they don't listen. And they're going to, just take it for what it is. What I wanted to share with you as well, when you do the 365, What I wanted tonight is show you what goes on in my mind and in my heart. What's in my heart is my friends that's working with me, Donovan and those people, because we've got the same passion. I went looking for people that can see. If they can't see, I can't work with you, because you're going to drown me as well. Yes, you might have a nice opinion, but you know the saying, opinion is like an arsehole, everybody's got one, you know. I know my daughter and wife is not going to like me saying this on YouTube, but the reality is opinions, okay, doesn't get you somewhere, your example does, you know. So you need to show up, you know. There's something that I wanted to share with you, and now I'm nervous and I kind of forgot. But as far as the 365 is, you might feel that this year, the 365, that it doesn't go as well, that you want to, and I want to encourage you and say, don't stop. I mean, because success is standing up one more time than falling down. And you never know who you're going to open up. I remember me and Paul, we spent a lot of time, because we both married to a woman called Sandra, and both of them are Portuguese, and we stay very close to each other. So I see Paul a little bit more than the other team. And last month, particularly, he had a lot of no's, and he was very frustrated about it. You know, and if you know Paul, he was like a up and down. And then the last week, he signed 5. But if he quit it the week before, he wouldn't have had the 5. So see, nobody takes you out of the business. You take yourself out of the business. You know, people think if you sign or you log, you're successful. It's not. By joining a gym doesn't take your stomach away. You have to go there as well. People belong to a church, but they don't go. People register for Deal Point, but they don't pay, you know. Now, if you keep on quitting things in your life, okay, there's no help. You need a psychiatrist, not money. No money. In fact, if you get money, you might go do some even sillier things. So maybe you shouldn't get money. But you're only going to get yourself out of the trouble if you change your mind, if you put Dew Point in your heart. 365 means you're going to speak for 300, 400 people in your Dew Point career. It sounds insane, but the more time you spend with us, the easier it becomes. Because remember, what you do is you just speak to people. It is as simple as this: listen, times are tough. We're not doing great. Me and my wife came across the opportunity. The extra money is going to help us a lot. There might be an opportunity for you to make some money. If you're interested, I can introduce you to a colleague of mine that's going to explain to you how the business works at our head office, or we can live stream from our home. Which one would we prefer? If that guy is desperate, he'll have a look. If he doesn't see the light, that oil light, or he chooses to ignore it, he gives it, it's not an oil light, it's an indicator light, okay? Okay, let's debate that, you know. Then he's going to fall flat. The question is what do you do when people say no to you? Do you follow them and become like them? Then you'll never become a leader, because you can't lead people if you do what they do. We need you to do, and I mean, I'm speaking to the converted, you're here. If you want to be a leader, you must set the example. You must do the things which others are not prepared. So that means maybe you dodge a hockey game here and there. In the meantime, I've watched the hockey game. I managed to watch one, so, you know, God willing, I'll do another one. But the secret of the 365 lies in the contingency. Not making it about the problems or the hassles in your life. You must open shop every single day. The shop is your mouth, okay? You cannot have a business if your doors are closed. Nobody can get anything from you if you don't. Whatever the jokes or the summer side, I was laughing that woman when she said to Paul, she said, well, she's in sales, house is 8 months behind. She said, I don't like sales. And I thought to myself, you know, purely you shouldn't. You should leave sales to these people. You should get out of sales. You're not doing very well. You know, from the so maybe you should give it to somebody that can do. And I'm proud to say with salespeople like these, this is success. I haven't seen anyone done a sale tonight, except him. Okay, he sold the concept. We bought in, but we didn't sell anything. For some people, it's still a bit tricky, but just think about it. Nothing was sold. We bought in. We bought something for ourselves, for my family, not for strangers, and that's a unique thing. I'm blessed to have met people like you that run for the 365. If you only 2 people in for the year or 0 people in for the year, 365, if you can do it in a year, great. If you've got names flying in the air but they're not down to the ground yet, keep on speaking to people. Keep the names you've spoken to, follow them up. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Birthday, a joke here and there, start a conversation. If they ask, how are you? And say, great, I had an excellent week with Dew Point. They shouldn't ask you how you're doing, because then you're going to tell them, okay? But some people, and I'm going to finish with this, if you ask them about Dew Point, they look like death. Have you seen some people? They look, you think, looks like he's got something contagious, Have you ever stood in the foyer and have a look at the people who are here tonight? They're all friendly. They're all dreamers. What's the nicest about the people here tonight is they're in reality. Real is so rare. Sitting with people that fear the future and do something about it. If I walk outside of this building, I sit with people that all they do is complain and they blame. It's not their fault. Okay? But it doesn't take the problem away. In here, I'm spending time with souls and individuals just like us, looking for a solution. You're taking it on the chin every week and you're still smiling. Why? Because you know the next guy might be a yes. And every no is not a no, because that guy was a no. That guy was a no. That guy was a no, but now it's a yes. So was it a no? No, it's not a no. Okay? It's not over. Life is still coming. As far as I can see the future in South Africa, things are going to become very tough. This is going to be a very plausible 365, $1 million in a year. I'm not as strong. I've been trying this flat out. Sometimes I get ahead, but I've never stopped trying. And because I kept on trying, the results came. Because I've never stopped because of the circumstances, not because my mom is ill, not because my life was threatened, not because my car's broken, not because I'm broke, not because of other people say, I met this one guy, he said, I wanted to come Tuesday, but they burglared me. And the next Tuesday I couldn't, it was load shedding, it was darker, and my dogs get very scared. And as the other Tuesday I couldn't come because he reversed over his laptop accidentally, And the other Tuesday I left, I thought to myself, but if I were you, Tuesdays won't get out of the bed, I think you should do Dew Point on Thursday, stay home, I don't know. But this is what people do. They think if they've got an opinion, that's a solution. Guys, you can practice for the comrades. You can pay your DSTV. You can have all the excuses, but the retirement is coming, whether you like it or not. As we speak, you're an hour closer to retirement. And as you're going to arrive, there's what you believe. Okay? And if you're going to work, if you work the 365, that means every single day you speak to somebody. If he says yes or no, it's not important. What I want to hear is, did you speak to somebody? If he said yes or no, that's irrelevant. I want to know, did you speak to somebody? And secondly, those people that you spoke to that hasn't answered yes, have you got a system in place that follow them up? Because I sign up a lot of people which somebody spoke to. So you know what? You're the fourth guy that tells me about Dew Point. I said, but maybe God has got a sign for you. You should actually, that should. I said, who do you spoke to? I said, I don't know. I don't have their numbers anymore. And somebody is losing the ground but didn't follow up on them. So that's going to happen. If you don't follow up on those people, you're going to lose them. I kid you not. Some people take months to make a decision. There's a lot happening in people's life. So what are we going to do? From tonight, we're going to start looking for people that can see the oil light. Okay, if they don't see the light, nothing you're going to do. Yeah, if you think Rob is pretty, make it work for you, okay? At least he's making money on the side as well, okay? But I'm privileged to work with guys like you and Brendan and their lovely families. They've got beautiful spouses, beautiful children. I love you guys, but I'm actually humbled by doing business with guys like you. I'm honored. If I leave this life, I did it with real people. Thank you. God bless.